Draft Profile Series brought to you by Celtics.com.
Welcome to the Celtics.com Draft Profile Series, and now joining us over Skype is Kentucky beat writer Jerry Tipton from the Lexington Herald-Leader. Jerry, thank you so much for coming on today.
My pleasure.
You had an opportunity to cover the Kentucky Wildcats this past season, but let's focus specifically on power forward Trey Lyles. What areas of his game really stood out to you?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is that he played out of position for a good bit because Kentucky had so many big guys, Karl Anthony Towns, Willie Cauley-Stein, Dakari Johnson. To find playing time for Trey, they played him at small forward, and he had his size to take advantage of matchups, but the quickness of other teams' small forwards could be a problem for him. So everyone tells me that when he gets to the NBA, he will move to his more natural position of power forward. So we'll get a better look at what he can do, I think, in that kind of setting.
With Trey being able to adjust to a new position, how much did you think that sparked not only head coaches' interest, but also general managers?
Well, yes. I mean, I think any kind of versatility is always good. And, there were times, and I think he went into this season wanting to show some versatility. His jump shooting, facing the basket, doing things other than posting up, because as you know, Kentucky had plenty of posting up people, so that it wasn't needed. And I think he liked the idea of showing a more versatile game than just a low post guy.
You were there day in and day out. What did you see that adjustment for him when he was practicing?
Well, he was I saw the media doesn't go to as many practices as you might think, but we did see him, and he didn't play on the exhibition tour of the Bahamas in August, which was the prime time we got to watch them practice. He was ill, and so he kind of he was kind of set back by that. But as the season went along, he did more and more, and he showed more and more. There was a play, I believe it was against Cincinnati in the NCAA tournament, where he was he sort of got the ball on the perimeter and started backing down his defender. And when he got into the lane, he just kind of exploded to the basket and dunked left-handed, and he's right-handed. And that really caught my eye because at least even here at Kentucky, we don't see that a lot. And I thought that showed more explosion than maybe he had shown in other settings during the season, that there was more there than we had seen.
Trey is one of 7 Wildcats entering the draft. Just how competitive did it get there?
Well, it was, the thing that was striking about it, Amanda, was that, as you know, they played platoons. And from the very beginning, you didn't get the sense that they were competing necessarily on the court, if you know what I mean. They weren't competing against each other. They were playing with each other in the 2 units. And then when they got mixed during other parts of the season, during the season, everyone seemed to handle that well. Now, what we heard from the players was that in the practice sessions, they were competing. They weren't as gentlemanly there. And it has to be a benefit for all concerned to be pushed on a regular basis in practices.
And you just mentioned that true grit that Trey had, but what other areas do you think he might be able to improve upon a little bit more leading up to the draft?
Well, I think he's got to show more agility, I would say, and become a better shooter, a perimeter shooter, or face the basket shooter. Again, I felt like we got a skewed view of things because of how he was played as a small forward. Not always, but a good bit. And of course he had there were 2. He missed the games in the Bahamas, so that set him back probably a little bit. And then he had strep throat in the middle of the season, where he missed 3 or 4 games. That probably set him back too. But he's an obvious talent. I don't think there's any question about that. And he got better as the season went along.
All right, Jerry. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Make sure to stay right here on Celtics.com for more player profiles leading up to June 25th. I'm Amanda Pflugrad. Thanks for watching.